So here we are for mat yoga. Just a reminder that this class gets down on the floor. So if you have issues with being on the floor, I want you to, so I want you to be really careful, okay? And don't, sorry, I'm having trouble with this thing. So don't do this class if you can't get up and down off the floor carefully and safely. If you're worried about that at all, I'll teach a chair yoga class at 11 o'clock today, and we can do it then. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to come right to the floor today. There we go. All right, so come gracefully to the floor if you'd like, or we can go ahead and use the chair to come on down. If you need a towel for your knees, please grab a towel for your knees, because we will be getting on our knees for a little bit after a little while. All right, so here we go. Down to the floor, inhale, lift. Exhale, I'm going to use the chair method right here to show the chair. So we're going to grab the chair, we're going to walk one foot back, and then the other. Good. And then I'm going to go ahead and push my chair away, because I don't really want it for the whole time. So let's start right here just with an easy warm up. So we're just going to rock back and forth with an inhale and an exhale. Good. We're not going too far because we're still kind of cool, just pushing back and bringing it forward. If you need that towel underneath your knees, let the knees kind of hang over the edge of that towel so that the kneecap is not on the ground. Good. Rocking back and forth, just warming up. And then let's push it all the way back and stop in a child's pose. Now, if you find that you can't get down far here, you can put a pillow between your thighs or a blanket. Good, and we're just gonna relax right here. Oh, now, when I say relax, I want you to try to push your belly into your thighs. Good, reaching those arms forward, but they're still comfortable on the floor. And if you have another pillow or block, you can put it there, or if you can put your head all the way on the floor. Oh, and breathe right here. Nice big deep breath. Good. One more breath here. Now let's come all the way forward. Let's do a little cat and cow. So we're going to warm up with that cat and cow. So hands are starfish fingers, and our arms are right below our shoulders. We're going to inhale, curl for cat. And then exhale and sway that back for cow. Good. And then just do it at your own pace. Curl and exhale for cow. And just do what feels good. Make it your movement. Whatever feels good for you today. All right. Let's hold it in the position that you think is going to feel the best. Good. So push it up for cat. Really hold it. Suck in the belly. Arching through the shoulder. Pushing down a little bit through the hands. And then exhale. Let's sway that back, lift the head and chest. Or do the opposite of what you just did, because maybe you felt this was better and easier. All right, now bring that spine to a neutral spine, and I want you to take one hip and one shoulder and try to touch them together. And if you do, I want you to run get your neighbor and have him take a picture, because we're going to call Guinness Book of World Records, because that shouldn't happen, right? And bring it back to the center. Let's do the other side. So we're trying to take your shoulder and touch it to your hip. Now you can't really do it, but you can get a good stretch through the hip when you do it. Good, and bring it all the way back. And let's push back into that child's pose. Give those shoulders a bit of a break. Maybe you can come back into a rabbit pose here, sweeping those hands behind. You decide. And then let's come forward right here. Good. So we're going to work a little bit on some core stability here. So we're going to bring one arm out, and the other leg taps back. So you could stay here. I need to be more on my mat. Good. So you could stay right here, Or if you have the strength, we could lift that leg and hold it right here for a count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keep your head in line with your shoulders, look straight at the floor. Here we go on the other side, arm out, opposite leg, tap to the floor, hold it on the floor if you don't feel stable. Breathing, nice big deep breaths. Good, and then let's bring it down. We're gonna do that again on each side. Here we go, so we reach it out. Good, holding here. Breathing, nice big deep breath. Dick Strohmeyer used to call this the bird dog. And bring it down, let's do the other side. I've also heard it called east versus west, or the pointer. Lots of different names for this. Good, all right, now let's bring those toes out, or the toes together, knees out wide, pushing back again for that child's pose. This time let's stay a little elevated here, lifting through the head and chest, feeling that stretch. I'm still pushing my hips back in towards the floor, just rocking a little bit side to side. Now pull through your hands, stretch that head and chest up just a little bit. Feel that stretch through the hip, through the lower back. And then let's come up, come back to that tabletop position. I'm going to turn towards you here. And I've got to move just a little bit. I've got that thing there, so I've got to move a little bit over. All right, so we're on that tabletop position. You stay where you can see me. And we're gonna take one leg and we're gonna bring that foot forward. Good, so I want you to come all the way up here into almost like a lunge or like a runner's lunge. Good, and we're gonna just rock it back and forth just a little bit. Now if this is too much on your knee, make sure that you have something underneath that knee. If it still hurts, we could come down and do some more cat and cow or do something that feels better for you. Good. So I want you to rock it forward. Take a look. Your knee should not be over those toes. You should still be able to see your big toe. We're going to hold it here, reach it up. Good. And come on over to the side. Now we're really stretching through the side here. Good. This is a more advanced yoga move. Good. Some of us can't do this anymore, and that's okay. You do what you can. Good. Let's inhale right here. Lift it. We're going to bring those hands one on each side of that foot. Hands come to the floor. We're going to lift that toe, push the hip back, stretch that leg. Stretch that leg. Here's that runner's lunge, right? Good. One more breath here. Bring that foot back to the floor. Let's come all the way up. And let's take that foot back. If you need to, you could come down here to the floor and do it. We're going to do the other side. You can always grab that foot too and bring it around. There's no rhyme or reason to how you have to get there. It doesn't have to always look elegant and like ballet, right? Yoga is sometimes clumsy. So let's rock it here, other side. Good. We're not letting the knee go past that those toes. So if you have to, pull that foot forward. Get something under your knee if this is uncomfortable. But I wish I would have grabbed my towel because it's really hard floor, but I got it for today. You know what I can do? Keep going. Keep rocking. I'm going to take my mat and just roll it right there. Oh, that's so much better. Good. All right. Now pull this forward. Hold it forward. Make sure that knee's not over the toes. You can still see your big toe. Good. Now, we're going to lift that arm up. Come on over to the side. Big stretch. Feel that nice stretch through the side. Good. There you go. And come all the way up. Take those hands, put them right one on each side. And we're going to do that runner's lunge. Lift that toe, elongate through the hip. Push that hip back. Breathe. Good. Breathe. Nice big deep breaths. All right, and then we're going to bring that leg back, however you want to bring it back. Now, bring your legs a little wide, and I want you to think about keeping your knee and your foot in line with each other, and we're turning the toes outward. This is called frog pose. It's not one that I've ever done in this class ever before, but we're gonna give it a try. So we're gonna come on down, push those hips back just a little bit, and we're just gonna hold it here. Good. Now if this is hurting your knees, roll that mat a little bit. Get those knees on that mat, and try it again. There we go. Feet are out. We're pushing those hips back just that little bit. Push it back. It's a big stretch into that hip, isn't it? Do what feels right. This is a more advanced move, a little bit more advanced mat yoga today. Be careful, be safe. One more breath here. Good. Now to get out of this, we come forward, bring ourselves up, and let's go ahead and have a seat on our backside for a little while. Get off of those knees. Good, so let's get off of those knees for just a little while, and we're gonna come back and do at least one down dog today. Good, so bring your feet forward. If you feel that you are one of those people that tilts backward like this, I want you to sit on your towel or a blanket or a pillow to pull yourself forward. And also we can pull some of that skin out from behind. Sitting up tall, flex your feet. Good. I want you to take your hands, we're gonna put them right behind you, and I'm gonna move forward just a little. Hands right behind you, they're facing your backside, and we're gonna put a little pressure into that wrist. So we're gonna stick the chest up just a little bit. Good. Lift and look up. I want you to elongate through the spine, lift your chest, and breathe. Good. All right, and then let's bring it down, curl it forward. So this next one, I'm going to give you an option that's a little bit more advanced, and you can choose if you want to do it or not. Good, so we're going to inhale and lift. Good, for those of you that want to, we could lift those hips up off the floor. Good. We could even let the head fall back for those of you that want to do a little more advanced of that. But I'm going to keep my head right in line so that you can still hear me on the microphone. We're going to hold it. This is a reverse plank. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So those of you that didn't do it, that's perfectly fine. We're going to curl right here through the spine. And then inhale and lift. Good. Now, I got to scoot back a little bit. Let's sit up tall one more time to keep those hands right here. Push yourself up, seated nice and tall. Good, now take those hands away, keeping the length in the spine. Reach for those toes. Don't curl. Keep the length in the spine. Once you can't go any further, I want you to go ahead and bend your nose towards your knee, stretching through those hamstrings. Good, one more breath here. One more breath here. And then let's come all the way up. Good. Let's take one leg, we're going to bring it over, sitting up nice and tall. If you can, some of us can tuck right here, right? So this is also more advanced, it's harder on the hips, so don't do that if it doesn't feel good. We can stay right here, that's where I'll stay for today. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, we're going to grab that leg, we're going to turn and twist and look behind you. For those of you that want a deeper stretch and you know it's okay for your back, we're going to reach the arm up, stretch the chest towards the leg, and then put the hand towards the floor and turn and twist. Good. Let's come back to the center, sit up nice and tall, lift the other arm up, stretch it up, and turn and look behind the other direction. Bring it right back to the center. Let's take that leg and we're going to cross it over the top of the other leg, flexing both feet. Pull out that skin. I want those hips forward, so make sure you're rocking forward. Nice, tall, erect spine here. We're going to lean it forward. Maybe we're reaching for those feet. Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's too much on the hip because we're really stretching through that hip, so you choose what feels best for you. Right? We could anchor here on the floor so we take some of the pressure off. Whatever feels right. Good. Breathe, nice big deep breath. right, let's come up. Now let's walk those hands back. Remember that position where we're stretching through the feet, or stretching through the wrist, excuse me. I want you to bring that foot up, from the elongated foot up. Look what we've got right here. We've got that figure 4 stretch, that piriformis stretch. So sit tall, sit into it if you can, lean into it. If you can, pull the foot forward. Mine is sliding along the slippery floor. Good, so push yourself into that stretch. Wow, right? Keep your feet flexed. Rock it. Now, to ease off, bend your elbows. So if it's too much, bend your elbows or slide the foot forward. A little rock here into that piriformis. Always modify for you. I know some of us, this is a lot, right? Yeah. We're going to get to some easier stuff here in a moment. All right. Now, one more time. Let's just lean a little bit into it. See if it's released just that little bit. All right. Let's bring it down, bring it out. Shake them out. Wiggle them out. Good. Do you remember how we started this? We started with the crossover, the tuck if you can, if you want to. I'm not going to tuck. I'm going to stay here because for me that's a little safer. And we're going to pull out that skin so we're a little bit forward, sitting tall. Good. We're going to grab that leg, give it a hug. Oh, it's my grabby side. Reach it up. Oh, reach behind. It's been crabbier than usual lately. Now sit up nice and tall, turn and twist the other direction. Bring it back to the center. We're going to cross that leg right underneath or over the knee. So my leg is on top of the knee. I'm not on the knee. I should have probably said that on the other side, but you probably got it. Flex both feet. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Good, and we're going to lean forward. Remember, we can anchor on the floor so we can take some of the pressure off if we need to. Holding, stretching through that hamstring. Good. One more breath here. Let's walk those hands back. We're going to slide that foot to the floor. And if you want to, you can push yourself forward or we can pull the foot back, either one. And those fingers are facing towards your bottom. So we're pushing ourselves forward. If that's too much, bend your elbows. Good. And we're stretching through that piriformis. For those of you that can and would like to, we could rock it just that little bit. Let's bring it back to the center. Sit up nice and tall and lean forward. Sorry. So all that stuff I've got to remember in my brain needs oxygen, and I get oxygen by yawning. There we go. That's my story. Actually, it's someone else's story. I just borrowed it. There. Oh, let's release it. Oh, good. Let's bring those legs out. Give them a shake and a wiggle. Before we come to the floor today, let's do just some elementary Pilates. So we're going to turn to one side here, and we're going to do this in multiple levels, working those core muscles. So sitting up nice and tall, I want you to bring your feet out there. Remember, if you're one of those people that tends to sit in the bucket seat, I want you to have that pillow or that towel underneath your fanny. So it brings your hips forward. So first level is right here. We're going to anchor underneath those thighs, and we're going to keep our spine straight. Ears, shoulders, hips in line, and we're just going to lean back, engage those tummy muscles, right? And I felt that back muscle engage as well. Good, so we're just holding it here. Lift your chest as though there's paint in the chair that you're going to sit on and you don't want to get the paint on your shirt. And we're lifting, holding, breathing. Good. And then let's come forward. Bring your legs a little wider. Bring your chest right through those legs and stretch it out. All right. Now let's go there again. So I'm going to make it harder this time, and you choose your level. So level 1 was right here. We are engaging those tummy muscles, lifting through the chest. For those of you that want to make it harder, we're going to lift those feet up off the floor, but we'll still anchor right here behind that leg, behind the thigh. Lift your chest. We're working those tummy muscles, keeping the spine nice and straight, holding and breathing. Good. Bring those feet out wide. Come on through. We're going to do it one more time. We're going to make it, I'm going to show you a couple advanced levels, and you choose what you want to do. Okay? So we'll go one more time and we'll choose an advanced level. All right, so let's bring those feet in. We're going to come back just that little bit. Good, we can stay here as a level 1, lift your head and chest. Here's a level 2. Oh boy, here's level 3. Level 4. I can hold those legs out, level 4. I'm going to stay at level 3, how about that? But so if you want to go to level 4 and you know you can, you go right ahead. Good, holding. Are you shaking like a leaf wherever you are? I'm shaking like a leaf right here. All right, 4, 3, 2, feet come down. Rock it in. Good, good job. All right. So we're going to work a little bit on releasing the muscle in our side called the piriformis muscle. So first thing, I want you to come back on those hands and knees. And I know that we've already done a lot of that. We're not staying here long. So I want you to come on those hands and knees. Hands are on the floor. We're going to do at least one down dog here. So I want you to curl your toes, and we're going to push ourselves up into that down dog right here. Pushing ourselves back, stretching through those heels, pushing your heels to the floor. Lift your hips, push yourself back, and then let your shoulders relax like you're tucking your shoulders into your, into your pockets. Good, and we're gonna hold it right here, working that shoulder, breathing, stretching it up. Imagine I brought my strap. I'm pulling your hips up and slightly back, bringing those ears between your arms, pushing that chest back, breathing, stretching. Building strength in those wrists and shoulders. Good. If you've been doing push-ups with me in strength and stretch, this is easier today because we've been building strength there. All right, one more breath. Good, and then let's come all the way down. I'm going to turn my mat just on a diagonal so that you can see me a little better. Good. So come on down to your belly. Come on down to that belly. We're going to bring those arms right here, parallel with each other. Good, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to go into Sphinx pose. So I want you to pull through your hands, pulling them along the mat, pull your chest forward and lift. Soften through your buttocks and push those hips into the floor. Good, push those hips into the floor. Breathe. Now, keeping that head and neck right in line with each other, so I'm not going to be looking a lot at you in the camera because I want to keep my neck straight as well. Good, now relax, bring it in, bring it down. One more time, lift it up, right here, soften through the bottom, breathing nice big deep breaths. Good, and then relax it. Let's take those hands, we're going to walk to one side. Good. Now I want you to take your front hand, and we're going to take the front hand, and it's like I'm crawling. I'm going to pull with the hand and pushing that same side hip into the floor, and I'm trying to elongate that same leg. So for me, this is my left hand. I'm pulling with the front hand. I'm pushing that same side hip in the floor. I'm elongating the leg. I'm getting a deep stretch right into my side. So hopefully you're feeling that same thing. Breathing nice big deep breaths. Good. Let's bring it back to the center. We're going to do the other side. So we take that hand, we kind of go a little bit further to the other side. We take the hand, bring it to the front, we pull along that floor, pull along, pushing that hip into the floor, elongating the leg. Oh, feel that stretch in that hip. Breathe, nice big deep breaths. Good. more breath here. And let's bring it back into the center. Let's just relax just a little bit. Oh, sorry. Relax just a little bit. Shake your hips. Sorry. This microphone today is not my friend. All right. Let's go ahead and come all the way up. We're going to do the opposite of what we've just been doing, and then we're going to lay down on the floor on our side. So come all the way up first. We're going to bring our knees out wide. We're going to do the child's pose right here. Child's pose. Shake those hips a little bit side to side. See how that feels. Shake those hips. This will be the deafening. The good thing is we're getting new microphones when we start with the new FTR. All right, let's come all the way up. And I'm going to turn my mat back. And I want you to go ahead and lay on one side. I don't mind which side because we're going to do both. So we're going to lay on one side. Good, and I want you to anchor yourself on the floor, either with your head on your arm, the arm can be elongated, or you could be here. But one place I don't want you is here. I don't want you elevated here. It's too hard on your shoulder, puts too much pressure there, and we're going to work on something on our side, and you're not going to get as good of a stretch. So I want you to be either laying here or right here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go with the completely down on the floor. So, let's take our top leg, and I want you to extend that top leg out and take your top arm, and we're going to bring it up overhead and stretch. Good. Stretch it right here. Good. So we're working through those side muscles again. So we're going to bring that elbow and that knee up together, and then we're going to elongate again through that spine. Good. So do that a couple of times. So we're going to bring it in together. And then elongate. Imagine I'm there. I'm pulling your leg. I'm pulling your leg. Good. And bring it up one more time. I'm going to elongate that leg. Pull it, pull it, pull it away. All right. Now, let's bring those legs right in. And we're going to take the top leg. I want you to swing that top leg forward. And take your top arm, and we're going to open it up to the side. Look up at the sky. Good. Now let's take that top arm, and I want you to slide it around on the floor, bring it to the front, and swing your leg to the back. Good. Now that leg, it's okay if it's kind of hanging up in space, or it could be down and relaxed on the floor. You choose what feels better for you. And we're going to make that a bit of a flow. We're going to move it. So we're going to bring the arm around, swing the leg forward, and then do the opposite. Good. All right, one more time. Swing and open. We're working on our spinal alignment here when we do this. All right, and then bring it all the way back to the front. Stretch it out. Good. Now let's bring it right back here. We're going to take that top leg and we're going to turn it up, and let's grab it and we're going to pull it in. Now we're going to elongate the other leg. Elongate the other leg so you can feel a stretch. If that doesn't feel good, keep the knee bent. There's a little bit more pressure on the back when we do this. Good. And you feel a little unstable, so push through your belly button. Push that belly button in. Good. All right. Now let's bring that leg back in. Let's bend both knees. We're going to hug the leg into the center this time. Good. And then we're going to take that top leg and we're going to swing it back and hold it. So we're getting the stretch right here through the hip. Good. Can you straighten that leg this time and bring it up, and we're going to hold it here. Ooh, right? Big stretch. Hold it. It's okay to anchor it with your hand. And then let's swing it back one more time. Swing it back, hold it right here. Good. And then let's bring that leg in, and we're going to make a big knee circle. So your foot is close to your bottom, the knee is bent, and we're making a big knee circle. I'm actually even anchoring right here in the front. Anchor in the front. All right, do you remember how we started this series? Mercifully, I do remember, so we're gonna go right back there. We're gonna stretch out that top leg, take that top arm, bring it up overhead. How does that feel? Does it feel a little better? Oh. Good, hold it right here, elongate through that leg, and breathe. And then let's bring it in. Let's roll to our belly. Stretch it out just a little bit right here. Roll into that belly. Good. And then we have to go to the other side, right? We got to do both sides. So I'm going to scoot that over so I'm a little bit more in the middle. Good. All right. So here we are. Remember that we're down and we've got a little bend in our knees and we're not elevated here. That's so bad for our shoulders. So we want to be down here or here, either one. So I like to be right here where I am. So we're going to stretch that leg out, that top leg, and then we're going to take that arm up overhead. This microphone's just not my friend today. Reach it out, stretch it. Feel that good stretch. Good. Feel that good stretch here. Elongate. Imagine I'm there pulling. And we're going to bring that knee and that elbow towards each other. And we're going to elongate and stretch. Good. Bring that knee in together. And elongate and stretch. Imagine I'm pulling. We'll do one more so you can really pull it out there. Pull it out. Stretch it. Good. All right. Now, let's take that top leg. We're going to put it out to the front. We're going to take that top arm. We're going to swing it to the back, open. Good. Then we're going to keep our hand on the floor, keeping the leg towards the floor. We're going to swing it and switch it. So the leg comes back, the arm goes forward. We can keep them on the floor, or if it feels good, we can keep them elevated. I have a hard time with this hip because I have an impingement here. So let's inhale and open. Stretch it. Exhale, bring it back around. Stretch. And one more time, open it up. Big stretch. Let's hold it back there one more time and hold it, stretch. Feels so good. Good, and then we're going to bring those legs right back here. And for the life of me, I can't remember where we went with this, but that's okay. So we're going to anchor right here. We're going to stretch that leg out. Good, I can't remember where we went, so stretch it up overhead. Big, big stretch. Oh, I know, I got it. All right, let's grab that knee. We're going to hold it in right here. Good, flex your foot. Good, bring that leg right back down, and this time we're going to anchor in the front if we can, or we're going to hold that leg right in. Good, and then kick it to the back, stretching it all the way back, feeling that stretch in the hip. Bring that knee right back in. We're going to do this one more time. Good, bring it back, and when we bring it back forward, let's see if we can bring it back straight. And I don't want to kick that chair. Let's see it. And bring it back straight. And hold it right here. You can anchor it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Good. Now bring it back down. Stretch it one last time. Imagine I'm there. I'm pulling that leg. I think that music got louder all on its own. That's all right. We're almost done. Okay, so let's roll on our backs. Rolling on your back right here. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Let's just lay here for a minute. So bring your hands back there. Open up those arms into a cactus position or a T position. Let's bring those knees up. Good. Bring it to that tabletop position. So our legs and our knees are long and they're making a table. Let's roll to one side. Good. And hold it here. If you need to, we can roll and release that one shoulder. I have a tight shoulder and that's easier for me to roll it just that little bit. Good, let's lift it right here. We're gonna go to that other side. And let's bring it back up. Let's hug those knees in. So give them a hug right here. This class always goes so fast. I hope you've been getting a good stretch and something different to do today. Let's lift it right here. Lift that head and chest. And bring them down. Let's just shoot those legs up for one inversion right here. Flex through those heels. Pull those legs a little bit more forward, stretching through that hamstring. Good. I hope you'll join me today in chair yoga at 11. We're going to do the 8-row cage, or this silken movements today. It's a little bit of Qui-Gon. All right, let's point and flex with those feet. Good. And roll those ankles. Remember, a roll of the ankle isn't moving the legs, it's moving through the ankle. The legs stay stationary. And roll the other way. Good. Now bend those knees, but bend them wide, and we're going to pull those knees up towards the armpit. Stretching through the hip, push that hip backward. Ah, that feels good. All right, let's get ready for Shavasana. So let's just stretch one more time up. Bring it in. And bring it down. And let's lengthen those legs. One big stretch like you're on that medieval rack. Bringing those arms up overhead, big stretch. And we're breathing, nice big deep breaths. Bring those arms over and get ready for Shavasana, however that feels for you. I like to sometimes bring my legs up and put my knees together so that they're not, there's no muscles holding in place there. Hands by your side, however that is for you, nice and comfortable. And we're breathing. Nice deep breaths all the way to the bottom of those lungs. Really inhale and bring in that oxygen and relax through that body. Taking this last minute to just breathe and relax, softening your features, listening to the sounds around you, whatever they may be, and incorporating them as part of your exercise today. I wish we could stay here all day like this. If you want to turn the TV off right now and just finish this relaxation, making it go a little longer, please do. For those of you that need to get up and get moving with me, let's go ahead and bring our feet to the floor one at a time. Rolling over to your least encumbered side. Let's push ourselves up into a seated position that's your choosing. Good. Take that big deep breath, inhale. And let it go. Good, one more deep breath. Hands come back down to prayer hands. Thank you so much for joining me today for yoga. I hope that you feel stretched and energized and ready for whatever the day brings. Namaste.